your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Get your earplugs ready for the next rave at the Orange Show. Find out when in the calendar section of the Grand Terrace City News. You can also catch local education, business, and sports and entertainment news in print and online at grandterracecitynews.com. The Grand Terrace City News, local news you use.
Good afternoon. 12:02 is the time. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live, local, national, and international news here on Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. While the GOP is all up in arms about Syrian refugees, there's something else they may want to be worried about: the U.S. visa waiver program, because it allows citizens from 38 countries, many of them European, to enter the U.S. for up to 90 days without getting a visa. Now, that could potentially have included some people involved in the Paris attacks, since a number of them were French and Belgian nationals. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein and Republican Senator Jeff Flake are co-sponsoring a bill that would alter the program to, as they say, make us safer. And while Republicans have long fought the changes, this time it looks like Dianne Feinstein might finally get her way. She's turning the tables on the GOP and using national security to get a bill passed. And yesterday, San Bernardino County Sheriff John McMahon and Deputy Fire Chief Jim Johnstone announced the graduation of the first county female inmate hand crew, also known as Glen Helen Crew 15-9. In May of 2013, the first male hand crew began their academy with 15 members ready to respond in July of 2013. Since that time, the male inmates total has grown to 34, with the addition of 13 females graduating today. Now, the inmate hand crews were available to serve the citizens of San Bernardino County, total 47. The 13-member female inmate crew began their training in July with a curriculum consisting of 8 weeks of initial training in wildfire suppression techniques, along with basic incident command system, first aid, CPR, confined space awareness, chainsaw operations, and small engine and facility repair. Inland Empire weather, sunny but cloudy also out there. We're expecting a high of about 70. Nice day. Tomorrow, however, a chance of showers with a high near 60 degrees. Overnight lows tonight about 46 degrees. Right now it's 71 in San Bernardino. Checking out your drive. There is stop and go on the 91 eastbound between Van Buren Boulevard and 14th Street. 91 west is heavy from 3rd to Central. And also in Riverside on the 215 southbound right there at University Avenue, there's an injury crash blocking the exit ramp. So that is usually a slow enough area. Now it's even a little bit more slow, particularly if you need to get off there at University. You might want to go an extra mile and get off at the next exit. Also in Paris, right lane is blocked on the 215 southbound just past Harley Knox Boulevard, and you have stop and go traffic from Van Buren Boulevard onward. That is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Looking for the latest news in the new Loma Linda University Medical Center? It's in the Loma Linda City News, along with more local news in a calendar section with what to do and where to go for fun. The Loma Linda City News, in print and online at lomalindacitynews.com.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Huffington Post blogger Steve Rhodes posts a blog. It's very interesting. Steve, by the way, is one of the folks that believes that the student loans should be bankruptable, and that if people have run up a bunch of student loan debt, they should be able to walk into bankruptcy court and have it removed. You know that before I begin to read this. The title of the blog, or the title of the article, is, Will Mark Tetzlaff Be Our Student Loan Hero? Mark Tetzlaff, I'm reading the article now, is a law student who might not have achieved his dream of being a licensed attorney, but the guy surely deserves some props for championing the cause through the courts of being impossibly in debt with student loans and seeking a legal remedy. See my point. My last story on Tetzlaff talked about how his request failed to have his federal student loans discharged in bankruptcy. Tetzlaff certainly has a story that would lead any person outside of a court to say he has a reasonable request to have his student loans forgiven. Well, I'm going to tell you, Steve, that would not be true, because not any person, not all people agree with this, only you and people that think like you. I'm a person, and so I don't agree, so I'll help you with any person is not true. Bold and brash and melodramatic statement. According to court documents, Tetzlaff owes more than $260,000 in federal student loans, which he attempted to receive a discharge in bankruptcy for, since the loans were a, quote, undue hardship, a standard for discharge recognized differently in different courts. Mark Tetzlaff is 56 years old and lives in Wisconsin with his 85-year-old mother. They both subsist on the income from her Social Security payments. Tetzlaff is divorced, has no children, and is currently unemployed. Tetzlaff pursued a master's in business administration from Marquette University, as well as a law degree from Florida Coastal School of Law. Tetzlaff took out various federally guaranteed student loans to finance his graduate education. In 2004, Tetzlaff consolidated his student loan debt. Tetzlaff has been unsuccessful passing the state bar exam to date, although he's made 2 attempts prior to attending graduate school. Tetzlaff worked as a financial advisor. That's humorous. An employee benefits consultant. That's humorous. An insurance salesman and a stockbroker. Over the years, Tetzlaff has struggled with depression and alcohol abuse. He's also been involved in domestic disputes. He has several misdemeanor convictions, including convictions for disorderly conduct and intimidating a victim. He claims that all of these factors combined make it very difficult for him to secure employment. The bankruptcy court found that Tetzlaff's financial situation has the ability to improve, given that he has an MBA, is a good writer, is intelligent, and family issues are largely over. The court also concluded that Tetzlaff is not mentally ill and is able to earn a living. For those of you that aren't aware, by the way, federally insured student loan debt is not bankruptable, because if it gets bankrupted on, there's $1.2 trillion of it out there, and we've got these snowflakes running around all over the place out here that feel like they're entitled to have their student loan debt forgiven because it's just unfair. And were they to do that, of course, the burden falls on those of us that pay taxes to the federal government, because the federal government has to make good on those loans. That's what they mean by federally insured. So you and I, the taxpayers, so far have loaned Mr. Tetzlaff $260,000 and have not been repaid. And so that's why Congress made the decision for student loans to not be bankruptable. By the way, IRS debt is also not bankruptable except in very rare circumstances. By the way, child support is not bankruptable except in very rare circumstances. And there's some other things in the bankruptcy code that are set up for various reasons that the law says they're not bankruptable. When I was 28 years old, I ran up several $1 million in debt, and crashed my life, having done stupid things. So I know what stupid looks like, and I know how painful it is. And after repaying almost all of it, I still was down to them taking the furniture out of our house. And I still, at that time, I only owed a little over $300,000 by then. I'd repaid all of it but I still ended up filing bankruptcy because I was a scared, beat up 28-year-old with 2 little babies, and I didn't know what to do. So I do believe in the bankruptcy court. I believe in the bankruptcy system. I went into business knowing that was there. I had student loan debt and IRS debt, by the way, that survived the bankruptcy that I had to repay later. It did not get cleared by the bankruptcy, just the same as Mr. Tesloff. So I understand what it's like to be scared, and I understand all of that. And I understand that some of you are in situations where you're scared, and I'm here to help you if you're scared. But this guy suffers from depression, alcohol abuse, has convictions of disorderly conduct and intimidating a victim. He's 56 years old, and he lives with his 80-year-old mother. I'm sorry, but this is deadbeat beyond deadbeat. This is an indefensible life. Make some different choices, have a different belief system. If you spent half the energy working that you spent trying to get the Supreme Court to change bankruptcy laws that they're not going to change because of your pitiful self, you would have made enough money to pay this back. And, by the way, probably could have passed the bar in the process. If you're smart enough to get something heard by the Supreme Court, you're probably smart enough to eventually pass the bar. So my sympathy level for people who feel entitled is almost zero. My sympathy level for people who are messed up, and beat down and need some help is very high. I've been that guy. But nowhere in the process did I think that it was anybody's fault but mine. And that's the problem with these snowflakes. These little people it's just unfair. It's unfair that I personally, as a walking, talking, supposed adult, signed up for $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 in student loan debt, and somehow the system took advantage of me. No, darling, the system didn't take advantage of you. You took advantage of the system. And we, the people that pay the bills for this crap, are sick of it. So, no, Steve, he should not be our student loan hero. He should be pitied for being the pitiful human being that he is. And we'll pray that he can turn his life around and turn himself into a real man at some point in the process here, living with your 86-year-old mother off her Social Security and you're 56 years old. In the South, we'd smack you silly for that, boy. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Kcaa Radio, Loma Linda, where no listener is ever left behind.
If you're a business owner, retiree, or you are about to retire, then you can't afford to miss an episode of Safe Money Talk with Rick Lee Wag. Safe Money Talk is the show that bypasses the hype and hysteria and gives you the straight talk about threats to your life savings and how to build your fortress against threats such as higher taxes, inflation, and healthcare costs. Every Tuesday night from 6 to 7, author and financial expert Rick Lee Wag will discuss the issues that have the potential to impact your retirement and business income. Starting at 6 p.m. only on KCAA.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. This December, visitors at the Orange Empire Railway Museum will have the opportunity to embark upon a magical train ride to the North Pole and visit Santa Claus at his workshop. Along the way, passengers can enjoy Christmas jingles, holiday trivia games, and storytelling with the elves. Upon arrival, they'll be greeted by Santa himself.
himself. Then, at Santa's North Pole Workshop, guests can visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus, take photos, play on Thomas play tables, and do various craft activities, as well as enjoy refreshments. Ticket prices are $10 for ages 2 through 11 and $15 for ages 12 and up. The Orange Empire Railway Museum is giving away a number of free tickets at Facebook.com/Orange Empire Railway Museum and Instagram at Instagram.com/Orange Empire Railway Museum. However, seats are filling up fast, and it's strongly suggested to book quickly. The holiday event will take place Fridays through Sundays, beginning December 4th through December 20th. Call for North Pole train ride times at 951-943-3020 or visit OERM.org for the Orange Empire Railway Museum in Paris. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
We can't be everything to everyone, or can we? The station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Jason is with us in Washington, D.C. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Better than I deserve, Dave. How are you doing today?
Just the same. How can I help, sir?
I have a quick question for you. So my wife and I are in baby step 4. We max out her match and her 401k at work. We max out both mine and her Roth IRAs. That still leaves us about $700 or $800 short of the 15% of money going into retirement. We currently have no kids.
What is your household income?
167.
Oh, congratulations! Very well done.
Thank you.
Well, if you've maxed out both 401ks and Roth IRAs, then you've done all you can do in, quote, retirement plans, and then you're left with just saving or investing in mutual funds at that point.
So the question I had was really the $800 that we're short of hitting that 15% mark. Would it be okay to pay that additional on the mortgage as a principal-only payment? Understanding also, I'm active duty military. I'm probably 2.5 or 3 years away from retiring from the military.
Okay.
So we would have that retirement income coming in as long as I'm alive. Just what would you do?
Well, you've obviously done very well. Congratulations. And you're in the military. What does your wife do?
She works for a private investment firm.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. Well, I mean, certainly it's okay to do whatever you want to do. Listen, if you fully fund, $18,000 in each 401k, that's $36,000, and another $11,000 into Roths, and you just do that the rest of your life, you're going to be multimillionaires. If that's all you do, you're going to be in great shape. So the point of saving 15% is it's not an exact formula. It's just to say save a substantial portion of your income invest a substantial portion of your income once you're debt free, so that you can retire with a lot of money and give a lot and retire with dignity, right? So yes. It's more of a concept than it is an exact thing. So if you save 14%, it doesn't break the bank, and really that's what we're talking about here. You're going to save 13% and throw the other 2% or whatever it is at your mortgage, and that's fine. Go ahead. It's not the end of the world. You're doing smart things with it. You're not blowing the money. And if you never do anything except what we're doing, you're going to retire multimillionaires. Right?
Yes, sir. Awesome.
So, you're right on track. And then the trick is when you pay off your house, you still got to figure out what you're going to do with all this money. You're going to have to figure out a way to invest in even more at that point, right? Because you'll be baby step 7ing it. But you get the point is the logic on this. It's not an exact percentage thing. It's just saying, hey, throw a whole bunch of money into investments so you have a whole bunch of money.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your service to the country, sir. We appreciate you. Lisa's with us in Atlanta. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
Sure. What's up?
Well, my husband and I were newly married. We've been married for just over a year, and we had a lot of changes over the last year. We moved to Atlanta last year. I left the job where I was making $200,000 a year.
Whoa!
To now making $76,000 a year.
Why?
And my husband left the job. Well, I wanted to do more training. I wasn't totally happy with what I was doing. Quality of life wasn't there, and so I decided to take a step back.
What were you doing?
I was working as a doctor.
Ah.
Yeah. And anyway, my husband left a job where he was making about $50,000 to $60,000 a year to now making about $30,000. It's been a hard transition.
So
anyway,
you're no longer being a doc at all?
No. Well, I may go back, but for right now, and I'm not sure. I'll have to make a decision next year. So
there's a whole lot of ways to be a doc. You know that.
Oh, I know, and I'm actually looking into different ways. So I may be back there next year, but we'll see. But I think this transition has really made us look at our finances, and even when we were making that much money, we weren't living together at the time. Looking back, we were still living beyond our means, I feel.
Gotcha.
And now even more, it's even more of a reality now that we're making so much less, but our bills are the same.
Yeah, when the tide goes out, you can tell who was skinny dipping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we're having some disagreement as to what we should be doing with 401k, and I really feel like we should sell our cars. He's not really agreeing with that.
So your household income today is $130,000.
I would say I'm making 76. He's making about 30. So
30. So about 106. Okay.
I say 100. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And how much do you owe on your cars?
I owe $16 on my car.
Mm-hmm.
He is upside down in his car.
And he owes what on it?
Excuse me?
He owes what on it?
$25.
Okay. And what other debts do you have?
I have student loan debt, which is about $140.
Okay.
We have credit card debt, about $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have some private loans for about $18,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all in all, we're around $200,000 in debt.
Yeah. Okay.
I have,
No, you should not cash out your 401ks. Yes, the choices that you've made in your life are going to force you to rethink your career track.
Yeah.
You have the ability to earn twice what you're earning, and you're going to need to do that for a period of time to clean up the mess that you made in the past in order to become a doc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your $140,000 worth of borrowing takes away your options.
Okay.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah. All right, that's what my husband's been saying. You need to go back.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not saying you have to go back exactly the same way. Whatever you were doing there took away your joy from being a doc, and you worked 20 years to be a doc.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took you forever.
Oh, I know. It's, my family was like, what are you doing?
And I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm saying that if you work that hard to get to do something, and then the way you're doing it is stealing your joy, you just need to rethink the way you're doing it. So what were you doing? I mean, were you working like midnights or something?
Yeah, a lot of overnight shifts. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, you just got to stop that. But I mean, you can get back. You could double your income and have a real cool, basic 40-hour life.
That's the goal. I'm working on that now. I have a sort of a plan, sort of a backup plan.
Yeah, you need to go that way because that fixes the problems. But a $25,000 car loan, $16,000 car loan is insanity regardless of your income.
I agree.
And so do you need to sell those in the meantime? I don't know. It depends on how quickly you guys turn this income situation around.
Yeah, I mean, it probably won't turn around until like maybe middle of next year. So.
Yeah, so you're going to struggle until then. And no, we don't cash out 401ks because if you do that, the government's going to hit you with 25% of which is your tax rate, or about 30%, which is your tax rate, plus a 10% penalty, so about 40%.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this series of bad choices you all have made, without thinking them through in the last 18 months with both of your careers. You guys have put yourself in a corner. You're not bankrupt, but I wouldn't borrow money at 40% interest, which is what cashing out your 401k is the equivalent of.
Yeah.
I'd sell cars and I would change, dadgum, just pick up ER on the weekends for a short period of time. I don't want you to go back to medicine long term the way you practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want you to go back to medicine the way that used to cause you to smile. And you might have to do some unpleasant things until you clean this $200,000 mess up.
Okay.
Because really, I mean, for 2 years, you could pour the coals on and be done.
Yeah, that's what my husband was saying. So,
But he needs to do something other than 30 when he used to make 62. What happened to him?
Well, I mean, it's just been really hard for him to just find a position down here. So he's working crazy hours.
What did he used to do?
He used to work for like a package delivery company. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing happened here is you guys have to this time when you do your plan, you need to think out what's it going to look like in 5 years, and what price have I got to pay to have my life like I want it in 3 years, so that at 5 years I'm still smiling, but the next 2 years might be rough.
Yeah.
And pay a price to win, but then you never have to go back. What you were stuck in before was just a gerbil and a wheel, and that's why you burn out and burn up. And as long as you got a plan, you can walk across hot coals. But if you don't have a plan, you ain't got the guts to do it. None of us do. The good news is you have the ability to earn your way through this mess. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Listening to Kcaa Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
California headline news: another case of DNA exonerating a man wrongfully accused. Luis Vargas acquitted 16 years after he was sent to prison for the sexual assault of 3 LA County women. The Innocence Project, pointing to DNA evidence, and pointed the finger of blame at someone else.
It's a relief because I believed in my father's innocence the day he told me he was innocent. And I'm very happy. And I'm grateful.
Crystal Vargas speaking about her father outside the courthouse in Los Angeles. A judge reversing Vargas's conviction. Evidence now pointing toward the long-sought so-called teardrop rapist as the culprit. A Stockton woman in stable condition shot while sleeping in bed with her toddler. The 22-year-old struck by shots apparently fired from a home nearby. The child unhurt. A California turkey visiting the White House to get a pardon from the president.
He's happy. He's been gobbling back and forth and answering to the crowd and interactive. So he seems in good spirit.
Joe Hedden with Foster Farms in Modesto says one of 2 birds chosen for the pardon came from his flock. Geico weather, a winter storm moving up north. Jeff Scott, California News.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
At Luxor Las Vegas, book your room on Luxor.com and you are guaranteed the lowest rate you can find. Luxor features the best in entertainment and award-winning shows, including Chris Angel Believe, Blue Man Group, Carrot Top, and Fantasy. Public House caters to every taste with 20 draft beers, comfort food, and over 20 screens. Tender Steak and Seafood offers an impressive array of beef favorites, and the Backstage Deli is open 24 hours a day. Book your room on Luxor.com for the lowest rate, guaranteed.
A penny for your thoughts? Sorry, ideas are priceless. KCAA.
The City of San Bernardino presents the inaugural Turkey Trot Thanksgiving morning, Thursday, November 26th. Rid yourself of your Thanksgiving pig-out guilt by starting the morning off with a 5K at San Manuel Stadium. Bring the kids for a mini trot at 7:45. There will also be a costume contest, music, and plenty of family fun activities. The cost is $10 per person, and parking is free. For tickets, go to www.eventbrite.com or call 909-726-1477.
And now it's time for another Support San Bernardino Spotlight.
Hi, my name is George Hahn. I am the Senior Minister at the Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. In the next few weeks, we would like to support San Bernardino by highlighting the outstanding things about our city. Today's program features Michelle Takia. Please tell us about your involvement with the symphony.
Thank you, Reverend George. In the summer of 2008, I founded, established, and became artistic director of Symphonie Jeunesse Youth Orchestra for Strings. It was established for serious string instrumental students ages 12 to 18 wishing to advance their musical studies. Season 1 opened with 12 students, and over the next 7 seasons, the orchestra has grown to 35 members. We will be performing at Temple Emmanuel in Redlands on Tuesday, November 24th at 7 p.m. for the San Bernardino Clergy Association's annual Thanksgiving service. Symphonie Jeunesse holds auditions and is always looking for new members. Donations are welcome. Please call 951-203-0759. That's 951-203-0759. Thank you.
This program was underwritten by Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. If you would like information about today's program, please contact me, Reverend George, by calling 909-883-7171. That's 909-883-7171.
For those of you traveling by air to celebrate this holiday season, LA Ontario International Airport wants you and your family to have a fun and safe trip. For your convenience,
remember, TSA travel rules are for your safety and those of others. LA Ontario International Airport reminds you to arrive early and check with your airlines for flight delays or cancellations.
ONT offers 62 daily flights to 15 nonstop western cities. This year, Santa brings your airport the Pause Pet Assisting with Smiles stress relief program. So, make sure to stop and pause a while, then sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. For more airport information, please visit us at lawa.org.
Hi, Leif Erickson for Snow Country. A fast start to the season for many of our mountains is helping putting last year into the rearview mirror rather quickly. We always love talking about skiing before Thanksgiving, and we have it, plus a good chance of maybe seeing some more snow in some of the higher elevations before the holiday always gets you going. Mountain High with 5 early season runs right now, going from 8:30 until 4, while Snow Summit offers up over half a dozen runs, and they've seen about 5 or 6 inches of natural snow just in the past week. Bear Mountain offering up nearly half a dozen runs as they go daily from 9 until 4. Mammoth, a great selection for early in the season with 75 runs, so all abilities finding something to do there. Arizona off to a fast start with Sunrise Park at 24 pack powder trails. Arizona Snowbowl seeing a nice 10-inch dumping of snow last week, 29 runs. More at snowcountry.com. Leif Erickson for KCAA 1050 AM and the all-new 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Greg and Celeste are here. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Welcome, welcome. Where are you from?
Boise, Idaho.
Boise, all the way to Nashville. That's a bit of a trip on Thanksgiving week.
Yep, took a little while to fly over.
I guess. You got family over this way or something?
I'm from Kentucky.
Ah, good. Okay, so we make a transcontinental trip. We got to at least get a double dip out of this, right? Okay,
Yeah.
debt-free scream and see the family. Good, good. So you're here to do your debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
So we've paid off $99,000 in 1 year and 3 months.
Way to go. I like it. Making what kind of money?
We are both software developers, and we make $150,000 total.
Good for you. Excellent. Cool. Great job. So what kind of debt is this, or was this?
So most of it was student loans. We had a car in there, and then we had a small loan to a family member, and that was it.
So tell me the story. What happened 1 year and 3 months ago?
Well, I had just moved to Boise, and my big brother called me one day, and he asked me if I had heard of Dave Ramsey. I said no, and I really look up to my big brother. So when he told me that, I got all over it and started looking into you, and it just became such a big part of my life automatically.
Wow.
So I really look up to him, and when he told me that I should do it, I was like, okay.
Just like that. Okay, whatever he says goes. That's cool. Now, were you guys married at that time?
We were not. We were engaged.
Ah, okay.
So her brother actually got us a total money makeover as a gift for a wedding present.
Oh,
she
very
read the
nice.
whole thing on our honeymoon. So.
Okay. So Greg, Celeste comes in and says, my big brother says I've got to do this Dave Ramsey thing, but we're engaged. What did you say?
I wasn't totally against it. I was kind of wondering, how is this going to go? I was pretty lucky with my parents. They helped me pay for a lot of my college, and I still had some of my student loan left that we worked on. But I was for it, but she had to show me the way.
Okay, all right. So you were not as apt to take Big Brother's advice as quickly and easily. I got you. You kind of had to. It had to be proven to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you guys have been married how long?
About a year and a half now.
Okay, all right. So basically, you would come back from the honeymoon, start a total money makeover then.
Yep.
And with the combined debts from the two of you, sounds like most of it was Celeste.
Yes, it was.
Okay. We sit down and we lay out a plan. Now, how did that first budget meeting sound for brand new newlyweds?
It took forever, but it was okay. It went okay.
Yeah, doing it on paper at first, it can be pretty rough when you're erasing and drawing and erasing and drawing and trying to get it all on there, but it gets smoother as you go.
Okay. So you got it all laid out. You guys didn't fight?
We don't fight a lot.
Did you that night?
No, I don't think so.
There's got to be a lot of stress. There had to be a lot of stress in the air, though.
There was some time where we were getting maybe halfway about through. I started realizing, I kind of miss having a little bit of spending money, and so we kind of squeezed the $50 in there for me every once in a while. But.
Okay. I got it. Okay. So as you went further into this and you're starting to make progress, did you get less intense or more intense as a couple?
I got more intense.
Yeah.
I was the intense one, and I think I put a lot of pressure on him.
Okay.
Because a lot of it was my debt, and I felt like we needed to get it knocked out because I felt accountable for it. So.
I told her it was going to be okay, and we were going to work through it. It was just going to take some time.
So did you get more intense or less intense, Greg?
I got more intense, too.
Both of you did?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But she was already pretty fired up, and so she went like over the lip is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because I got a feeling Celeste, when she gets after it, she gets after it.
Yep.
I like it.
When she figures out something, she goes for it.
That's fun. Very cool. Good. Very good. And you guys are making really good money. Brand new married. How old are you?
24.
24 years old, making $150,000 household income. You are killing it. Congrats. And you have no debt now. You are so weird. You are so successful and so weird. Everybody in your life's got to be looking at you going proud, aren't they?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, your parents, her brother, her parents, everybody's got to be looking at it going, dadgum, man, if I'd have started like that, wow, you're going to have so much money, it's going to be unbelievable.
It's hard to believe. But.
Yeah, really. You're going to be able to give like crazy. You're going to be able to do stuff. You can change your whole life, man, and a bunch of other people's. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. What was the hardest part of this for you all?
Initially, just we're a newly married couple, and it's getting that communication down and realizing, you're married, you guys need to talk about everything together. And having that monthly budget meeting brought up a lot of stuff that, you might not address until it comes up the last minute, and just being on the same page. But, yeah.
It's always a little friction when that happens. Yeah. What was the hardest part for you, Celeste?
Well, I like coffee in the morning, and I had to give that up.
Oh, okay. Ouch. Now you can drink coffee anywhere in the world you want to drink coffee. This is pretty cool. Absolutely amazing. Good. So you run into other distant family members, maybe that Big Brother hasn't had an influence on, maybe a cousin over the holidays, and they hear you guys have paid off $99,000 in debt, and they ask you that question, how did you do that? What do you tell them the keys to getting out of debt are?
Well, I think for me, the biggest thing was I had to have that moment where I had just had enough of the student loans. Mm-hmm. And once you have that moment, I looked at my student loans, and instead of being annoyed by them, it made me mad, mm-hmm. and it made me emotional. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what really brought it into gear for me. Mm-hmm. And also, I think us being in agreement that this is a goal that's worth fighting for. Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. So getting fired up is a big part of it. Yeah. What about you, Greg? What do you say the keys are?
The same thing that my wife just said, but mm-hmm. you've got to have that budget in there. I am a bad procrastinator, mm-hmm. and having that once a month thing before it even starts to think, okay, birthdays, anything that's coming up the next month, I'll actually remember it instead of, the card always being a few days late for my mom's birthday, But
it's on time. I like it. So, Celeste, when you guys sat down that last night, and I bet you paid that student loan online, didn't you?
Yes.
So you clicked that button, send, submit,
yes.
And you were done. Mm-hmm. You were done. How did that feel?
I don't know. It's indescribable. We clicked it together. We posted it on Facebook.
You videoed it and put it on Facebook.
Yeah, we sure did.
I love it. Good. As you should. And you need to keep that video and show it to your kids and your grandkids.
Yes.
Say, this is when your family tree changed, kiddo.
It is.
Right here, when we hit send on that. Yeah. Awesome job. You guys are incredible. You're rock stars. I'm so proud of you. Very fun to talk to you. Thanks for making a trip down here Thanksgiving week. All right, Greg and Celeste, 24 years old, $150,000 income. They paid off $99,000 in the first 1 year and 3 months of their marriage. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
How fun are they? Man, that is absolutely awesome. Very, very, very well done. Absolutely incredible. Open phones this hour as we talk about your life and your money. It is a free call at 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. You can follow me on Twitter at Dave Ramsey. You can follow me on Facebook.com/Dave Ramsey. You can listen to this show as a podcast and subscribe to it all 3 hours every day. You can listen to this show live and 24 hours a day on the Dave Ramsey Show channel on iHeartRadio. You can watch this show with the Dave Ramsey Show app for your iPhone or iPad. You can watch this show at DaveRamsey.com. You can stream this show, and every bit of that is free. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
As family and friends gather for Thanksgiving, we pause to appreciate life and the good things it has brought us this past year. Join the world-renowned Mormon Tabernacle Choir for Life is a Gift, a music and the spoken word Thanksgiving Day special.
You can listen to Life is a Gift at 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. Thanksgiving Day right here on Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
absolutely recommend Churchill Mortgage to any of my friends, family, coworkers. They treated me like as if I was buying $1 million home, and that just made such a huge difference, knowing that I'm more around the 100,000 range than $1 million, but yet the treatment was just very respectful and very professional.
Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
I travel all over the country teaching people about life balance because it's a struggle for most of us. It's not just a struggle to create balance in your life, but it's also a struggle to understand what it even means. Life balance sounds like some elusive theory that we all know we're supposed to want, but we have no idea what the heck it is, much less how to get it. Often we get caught up in formulas, as if there is one right way to live a balanced life. But that's not it either. It's not about a perfect split of your time, and you will have seasons where one area of your life trumps the rest. Life balance is not about having an even 50-50 split in your life. It's about being 100% present. It's simply living from your values. It's creating a life that reflects what is important to you. Life balance comes from putting your time and your money and your energy in the right places. Places that you care about. That sounds simple, but many of us spend a whole lot of time on things that we don't care about, don't we? We rush and we strive and we try to keep up with the ever-increasing demands that people have of us, and then we end up bitter and burn out, and we don't know why. When you aren't able to spend time on things that you care about, you're quickly going to be stressed and frustrated and exhausted.
This is KCAA.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path that's right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that is a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
Friends of Santa Claus Incorporated presents the 2015 Christmas Tree Lane event at the National Orange Show on December 4th and 5th. Tickets are on sale now. The celebration includes dinner dance, live band, holiday luncheon, and the spectacular Macy's Fashion Show. Your attendance helps support children in our community. For tickets or sponsorship information, call 909-862-0732. That's 909-862-0732.
The other station claims to be local.
Trying to work the baby steps and get my husband on board. He just called me and said he wants to invest in silver. I told him no. He's killing me. How do I explain to him that this is a bad idea? Well, there's only one of two reasons people invest in silver and gold. One is they're trying to get rich quick and easy, and silver and gold have a lousy track record for producing short-term wealth. The other reason is they're afraid that the economy is going to completely collapse and everything as we know it in America today is going to go away, and then therefore people are going to use bars of gold or bars of silver to exist. And, of course, that's a pretty absurd, I mean, it's possible, but it's a pretty absurd reason for choosing your investment portfolio. So, no, I'm not going to invest in silver. It has a horrible track record as an investment vehicle, and no, it does not really shore you up in the event of a collapsed economy. If you're going to bet on a collapsed economy, you shouldn't buy silver and gold. You should buy bullets and water and a gun to put them in. The bullets, that is, because that's what happens in a collapsed economy. And buy things that you can trade, but bars of gold won't be used. There's no evidence of that since the Roman Empire, that in a failed economy that happens. It just doesn't happen. So I don't know how you convince him of that. I think you've got bigger issues going on the way this question is worded than just him wanting to invest in silver. It's you guys are desperately not on the same page with where your money's going and what your future looks like and what the best track is to get there. And sadly, a lot of couples don't talk about that stuff until they've really made a huge mess. Carl is with us in Birmingham. Hey, Carl, how are you?
I'm above ground, Dave. How about you?
Just the same. How can I help?
Well, listen, I just recently retired, and the only deduction I've got left is my home mortgage, and it's like a 3.5% interest rate. And I've got the money to pay it off, and I just don't know whether I should pay it off or just kind of sit back and do nothing.
So what is your what's your loan balance?
About 125.
Okay.
I got about 80 equity in it already.
Okay. So you
but I've only been here 2.5 years.
all right. So you itemize your deductions.
Exactly.
Okay. So 3.5% of 125 is $4,375. And
Right.
what is your household income?
About 100 a year.
Okay. All right. And so basically you have a $4,000, give or $4,500 tax deduction off of your income, which is what you brought up.
Right.
And if you deduct that, which you do, if you're in a 30% bracket, then that saves you 30% of that, right?
Right.
Or saves you about $1,300 in taxes. So your tax deduction sounds like this. You're sending your mortgage company $4,300 to keep from sending the government $1,300.
So I should pay it off.
If you follow what I just said, you would.
I hear you, Dave. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and if you want to take if you want to take a tax deduction like that, just increase your charitable giving.
Yeah, I do that.
You don't. But I'm not saying. I'm just saying you don't have to be in debt to create trading $4,000 for $1,300.
Right. And give the mortgage company all that interest over the course of the loan.
Exactly. And so you take a deduction if you've got it, but you don't keep a deduction that is based on real hard cash like that just for the sake of the deduction. I mean, you would never do giving just for the sake of the deduction because it doesn't work mathematically. You do giving because it's the right way to live. It's the proper thing that comes out of your soul. It's the right way to worship the Lord and so on. That's why we do giving. But the giving doesn't mathematically, from a tax standpoint, you don't say, I'm going to increase my giving because I need more tax deductions. You would never say that. And the same reason you wouldn't say, I'm going to keep a home mortgage because it's my only tax deduction. Jessica is with us in New York. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, it's really great to talk to you, and especially inspiring coming in after that debt-free scream.
Cool.
Hopefully I'll be there someday.
I hope so.
So I have created a bit of a mess for myself. I think I'm the poster child for all the things you don't do. Back in 2006, my husband at the time and I bought a home that was more than we could afford. Unfortunately, went down the road of strategic default, which I know you absolutely hate. And we've since divorced. I can definitely vouch for the stress that all these financial issues put on a marriage, among other things. So the home is right now in foreclosure. My ex-husband is trying to work with the bank. He wants to keep the house. So he's working on that, but I am in baby step 2, and I have a question about, I have some money in the bank, about $15,000 in the bank. I have about $7,000 in car loan, about $9,000 in credit card, but I anticipate some additional attorney fees as well as potential IRS fees and such related to the foreclosure should it go down that road. Do I take the money that I have saved and continue in step 2, or do I kind of hold some of that off in anticipation of future?
Well, I would probably hold some off until we get clear on the attorney's fees. You shouldn't have any IRS on the house. There shouldn't be a gain on the house.
Okay, but would there be because of debt forgiveness if it does?
No, there's no debt forgiveness on your personal residence is not taxable.
Okay.
It is on everything else, but on your personal residence, it's not taxable. So if the thing goes down as a foreclosure, a strategic default, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, a short sale, any of those things aren't going to create a tax item for you. And you're out of the house. Is the divorce final?
Yes, the divorce is final.
So what's the anticipated attorney's fees?
Well, we're actually facing a potential appeal right now that could be about $5,000.
Who's appealing?
we are appealing to get back into the foreclosure defense. It was a big mess. Basically, the original attorney I had didn't file the answer that we attempted to file back some time ago, and so the current bank or the current attorney continued to file.
I'm sorry, you don't want to keep the house. He wants to keep the house.
Correct.
Why are you paying for an attorney for him to keep the house?
Well, it's just to make it all go away. I truly want to make this better and get past it, so we're working together to get through that.
Yeah. Not sure I agree with that part of your strategy overall, but the rest of it I'm fine with. Yeah, you won't have any IRS bills. If you want to hold back $5,000 of this for future attorney's fees, that's okay. But then what I would do is I would get after it from there. And let's get the rest of these debts cleaned up and put this past in the past and move on. As you said, be able to put it behind you. Be careful you don't get sucked into some kind of weirdness where you're supporting this delusion over this home. It might be better just you guys toss the keys and walk and start fresh now that you're this far down the road, or for you to anyway.
Certainly.
Obviously, they can come after you and come after him for a deficit, depending on what kind of a mortgage it is and so forth. Those are possibilities. So maybe you guys look at a short sale. Somehow I've got a feeling he's not going to keep this loan up, and it's got your name on it after you guys go to all the trouble to get this thing reinstated and everything else. So I worry about his ability to keep the bill paid with your name on the mortgage. And so even after you pay all this money, I'm not sure it gets behind you. Let's say you get it all out of default, he reinstates it, everybody comes around, everything's working, but the mortgage is still in your name, which is how it will be. Then he doesn't pay later because he's known for that. Then you're going to be right back where you are. So I'd love for this thing to get out of your name. That I'd pay some money for. But I don't think that's going to happen with what you're trying to do here. So just be very careful that you're not gotten sucked into more house craziness here, and you're not throwing good money after bad, in other words. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to James Childs, our producer. Blake Thompson's our executive producer. Kelly Daniels, our associate producer and phone screener. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
Kcaa AM 1050 and 106.5 is proud to announce that we are a collection station for Random Act of Kindness, an annual toy drive coordinated by Music Changing Lives in Redland. This year, Random Act of Kindness is in special need of gifts